hadith today, keep it a little short. عن أنس رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من آذى مسلما فقد آذاني ومن آذاني فقد آذى الله رواه الطبراني في الأوسط وهو حديث حسن. Anas radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he who harms a Muslim verily harms me, and he who harms Allah verily annoys Allah, or verily, he who harms me verily annoys Allah. Narrated by Tabarani. Now the same wording is used. Obviously we can never come to harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like in a hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, whether it's you become like the best amongst yourself or the worst amongst yourself, it does not affect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. But it just goes to show you, using the same verbiage, that we have to be very careful when we're trying to harm one another as Muslims, because it may seem like you can get away with it. It may seem like you can maybe laugh it off or just assume that it wasn't harm, but it is actually harm. That harm will reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will know of that harm. And it will not be escaped or diverted or let go unless that person who was harmed forgives that individual. So we're harming the Prophet ﷺ in the sense that we're going against his teaching. We, as representatives of the Prophet ﷺ, actually when we do the wrong things, we're teaching everyone else that this is what the Prophet ﷺ used to do. That's in their minds what they're thinking. So if they do it, they're Muslims, maybe their Prophet ﷺ is teaching them that. And at the same time, when we're doing that, we're giving the wrong understanding of the Quran. Because they'll say, well, if they're doing that, maybe the Quran tells them to do that. So we're in turn taking away the credibility of the Prophet ﷺ and of Islam itself, the Quran and the Sunnah, by every wrong we do in front of communities, in front of amongst ourselves, or amongst individuals who don't know Islam and don't even know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a much bigger effect than we think. You know, you see like a little domino effect. This guy, he took a little domino, very small in size, and behind it put something double its size, and behind that put double its size, and kept going. And there was only like 6 or 7 different dominoes, but each one got very heavy to the point where the last one was like, I don't know if it was 50 pounds or 60 pounds. And he just tipped that small one, and then knocked the next one, knocked the next one, knocked the next one, eventually knocking the big one over. So the little deeds that we do, we may think it's just small, but it has an effect. And it can loop and have a big effect after it just goes around a little bit. So that's why even whether it's the Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, to let us know the effect of it, he says an atom's worth of weight, whether it's a good deed or a bad deed. Just even an atom's worth, you're going to see it, because the effect of it will be there as well too, for both good and bad. So no matter how small of a deed it is, if it is good, do not belittle it and do it right away. The Prophet ﷺ said, even if you're just giving half a date to someone, do it. Even if you're adding just a little bit of water to the sauce to give to your neighbor, do it. It's a good deed. And no matter how small a bad deed may seem, treat it as if it's still disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and leave it. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us and forgive us for all of our shortcomings. Jazakumullah khair.